everyone. Here we have another chart reading. The focus that I was asked to have is business. I will, however, in the first part, do more of the basics. And what we look at in the basics is the profile. It is the aura type. It is the incarnation cross, and it's the inner authority. So starting with the profile, here we have a 2-4. The second line is the dancer. We also see it as somebody who's really natural in the way that they do. It's somebody that has the right to be picky. So I often see the second line as the one that's on the tango floor. And when you're in a tango, if you ever dance tango, you know that in the milonga, you dance with the same person three songs. So when you say yes, you know you have to kind of dance with a person for 3 songs. And that's when you want to be picky, because you're only in that dance for so many hours that night, and you want to maximize. You want to dance with somebody that it feels like you're in flow with. It's effortless. It's not somebody who steps you on the toes. You want to be able to flow and be in ease. That's the second line. So see your life as a tango dance floor, and you get to choose who to dance with, and you want to feel that the connection with that person is really strong. We speak about it in the Gene Keys, like passion relationships. You are a dancer and you're here to live through passion and relationships. The second line can be a bit unaware of itself. So you really need to have those true connections where you can see yourself in the other, where there's reciprocity, where you feel that merging. Even if it's not forever, it's the merging with the other. The second line can be really loyal too. So especially when you have the fourth line in the body, like we see here, it's a fourth line. You are going to be loyal. You're going to want friendship first. You're going to want to open the heart to the other and have the other do the same thing. And sometimes the second line can be a little bit reluctant. It can take a bit of time for the second line to feel into, okay, yeah, this is my person. This is my people. So I would say for people that are with 2-4s, give them a little bit of time. Don't expect them to right away be completely in for it for the long run. Even if there is flow, allow them to kind of deepen that, to kind of go from that second line to the fourth line of the heart. So here on the sign side, we have the fourth line, which is the heart, which is the breath, which is the trust, which is the friendship. And really the environment for the 2-4 is the people around you. The environment is your friends. So it's so important that you are with people, like I said, where you can breathe, where you feel like their heart is open, and your heart is open. It's what comes through when you break out of disappointment and you start to fulfill yourself and not expecting others to fulfill you. That's when naturally the open-hearted people can come to you, because when you live in disappointment, you're just going to attract more disappointment. So important to know how to also give the dance of life to yourself. And then when you're fulfilled, your frequency is so different. And that's when you're going to be able to attract the playfulness and the harmony that we see here in gate 3 and 50. And let's look at the incarnation cross. The incarnation cross, I don't have the astrology chart here, but if we would have it, we would see that the 56 and the 60 are opposites in the astrological wheel, or the Ray Mandala. So they are going to be sun and earth are opposite. And then the cross, it looks like a cross because we go 3 months back in time, 88 degree in that wheel, and we're going to have the sun and the earth of the design. So it looks like a cross. It's not a 90-degree cross. It's an 88-degree cross. The sun and the earth are always going to be opposite in the wheel. So we can actually look a little bit at this already. So here are the words of the 56. It's enrichment. It's about being that, we call it the comedian, but it's somebody who can be drunk on life in a good sense. And then the 60 is about creating sacred containers. So that's important, that you use the structures, not to limit yourself, but to create sacred containers. And when you break through, you are going to come into that eternal child and that balance of your life. But a lot of people can always stay here, and they will be kind of stuck in the challenge between the life's work and the evolution. So here there would be more than enrichment, there would be a distraction, and more than sacred container, it would feel like limitations. And then the soul is not going to be able to breathe. The soul is going to feel like everything is chaotic and everything is corrupt. And then there is no true intimacy, and you can't mirror yourself in the other. And maybe there are going to be people that are just for you to, for the sake of like your body or for sex. You're not going to feel this true reciprocity, this true merging with the other. And then the core wound is going to say, I'm failing. And it's like a double failing here, because the 32 in itself is the fear of failure. And the third line is the core wound of failure and shame. So it becomes this really strong like nut that goes round and round with distraction, limitation, not being able to breathe. It's chaotic, it's corrupt. The relationships are not in reciprocity, and it feels like you're failing, and there is no way to serve the world through that. There is no initiative through that. So that would be the nightmare version of this incarnation cross, which it's the same for all incarnation cross. It is a nightmare in the low frequency, but the higher frequency, we already spoke about it. So it's the enrichment, it is the sacred containers, it's the harmony in the relationships. It is about intimacy, and it's an intimacy where you get to be picky, because the second line, like we said, is all about choosing what's right for you. Where is it that you can find that true honesty and transparency and merging? And when you do that, that is going to start to shift the core wound into the vocation, where it's about playfulness, and it is about knowing what's worth putting your energy on. And we can see in this chart that we have a sacral generator here. So it is about knowing where to put your life force. Every day you want to feel regenerated when you go to bed. And that's what I feel that you wouldn't do if you're lost in distraction and limitation, and trying maybe to make the other give you what you need. Like there could be some of those tendencies where you are trying to make everything nice and kind of prove yourself in order for the other to give you what you need. But that can never work, because that's going to lead to disappointment, and then you're not going to break out of disappointment. So important to fulfill yourself first. It's also important as a 2-4, because you are in flow and you have a completely open G, that you're not going to outsource your life on somebody else, that you're finding your own direction. You're probably here to have many adventures and possibly many love stories, but you're not here to kind of hook into somebody else instead of following your own. It's a chart. Now I'm kind of going into the more advanced stuff, so I'm going to stay here and do a part 2. So it's a generator. It's a split definition. We want you to stay in your sacral. It's connected very strongly to your spleen. So you could say you're sacral splenic. You want to trust your intuition. You want to trust your body and your hunches, your gut feeling. You also have this connection to the root. So you're going to have energy. This is where your authority is. You are your sacral. So you want to make sure that this is respected all the time. In here, inherently, you have a pulse. So sometimes it can feel uncomfortable. I think you were saying that your work, you're feeling something is shifting. Yeah, I think that you're feeling the 360. You're feeling that something is pulsing, something is mutating. You also have the 50-27. So the responsibility and the nurturing is something that you can, in work or in any kind of constellation, you have this kind of responsibility for the project, for the tribe, for the people involved. And you also have the discernment of seeing who are the people that you should work with. What's the fractal? What's the people that you can succeed with? So you want to accept and embrace your generator true first. And then this part of you, which has the very cool channel, the organizational being, comes online. If you just try to be this person, this executive that is like, or this person that is like really good at what you do in a company, then your body is going to suffer. You're not going to regenerate. So important for you to embrace that part of you, that you are a sacral generator. And let's see, this is the basics. So we spoke about the profile, the 2-4, we spoke about the incarnation cross, how that can run in the low frequency as a downward spiral, how it can look in the higher frequency, where you are more stable in the gifts. And we also spoke about you being a generator and you being sacral authority. So that's the basics of this chart. So let me do a part 2.